All right, welcome into Study Ball. It is playoff week, and I'm excited to break down the playoff matchups. I'm going to do that a little bit later in the week. First, a little self-promotion. Got a little American Underdog shirt on here. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I encourage you to go see the movie. The reviews have been incredible. People have been touched by the movie, so just encourage you to go check out the movie at a theater near you when you get an opportunity. It's a great movie for the whole family, so bring everybody, and then let me know, whether it's here on YouTube or on Twitter, let me know what you think of the movie. On top of that, if you're liking the breakdowns here on YouTube, people are always telling me you got to encourage people to subscribe. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and push that subscribe button and keep those numbers up because people seem to be enjoying this channel. So if you enjoy it, go ahead and subscribe for whatever reason. People like the numbers, so subscribe to this channel if you like it. Now, as we get into the breakdown today, I said I'm going to look forward to the playoff matchups a little bit later in the week. First, I want to look back. And maybe the most disappointing moment of last weekend was the Colts going down to Jacksonville, where they hadn't won since 2014, and everybody's like, okay, it's not going to happen this year. The Jags are struggling. The Colts are playing really, really well, and we all know what the result was. It was a win-and-in game for the Colts, and they didn't get it done. And as you know on here, I like to break down the quarterbacks. That's what I'm going to focus on. And Carson Wentz has really had just kind of an up and down year and never played with the consistency, never played, with, to me, the understanding of what he was seeing to make the right throws in critical moments to be able to take this team to another level. Really good defense, great running back, and Carson just never came into that point where he was that guy and the guy that they could count on consistently in the big moment, and that showed up again on Sunday. And so this is just kind of a look at Carson Wentz, where he's at this point in time of his career, and where I believe he's got to get better moving forward if he wants to be that franchise guy, hopefully in Indy, because they did some good things down the stretch this year. But a franchise quarterback in this league somewhere, he's got so much ability, but there's certain things that he's got to get better with if he wants to become that guy. Let's take a look at the tape. Okay, here we go. All right, now, it's not all on the quarterback. They had some other mistakes that happened in this game, but what we know is that when you're playing quarterback, all the scrutiny is going to be on you. When you're throwing the ball 40 times a game, you can't have mistakes and little things that cost you 12 or 13 times in those 40 plays. You've got to be able to make the proper decision when opportunities are out there for you. So this is going to be a third and short situation, okay? Everybody likes to run this combination, so it's called mesh, okay? So we're doing this, we've got a hook, and then we've got our back running what I like to call a bullets route over here. So the idea is to get man-to-man coverage, and we're trying to mesh these two receivers, and hopefully the man guy that's covering here has to rub and bubble over the top, and we get that shallow coming there. But the first read on this play, because you're reading it out this way, so it's always going to be 1 to 2 to 3, and then you work your way backside. So because your eyes are going to be out here on the primary receiver anyways, always want to peek this first. As I said, it's third and short. They need to get to about here for a first down. So as I come out as a quarterback, first thing I'm looking at is this guy right here. If this guy is soft, if he's playing soft right here, which he is, he's backing up on the snap, I'm thinking throw it right here, right now. Get it to my back whose shoulders are going downhill, and he walks for an easy first down. Okay? So if I get that corner to fall and this backer works hard out to the back, boom, I'm recovering right there to my shallow. If I get this soft coverage and this backer stays there, which he does here, boom, hit this right here to my main man, Jonathan Taylor, right there. There it is. Look at all the space you have right here. All this space. You need 2 yards. Put it on him right there. Put it on him right there and let him get downhill, going towards the end zone. Easy first down here right off the bat. It's always got to be my first read. Instead, he doesn't take that. I don't know. He's looking to make a throw somewhere, but it's all clouded on the inside. Leads to a sack right here. And obviously in a third down situation, opportunity to keep the drive going and score a touchdown. Instead, we got to kick a field goal right there when an easy opportunity is out there in front of us. Okay, it's a play called double seam. So we're running seams, seams. This one here, I'm not really sure. It looks like he may be running a go route, so it could be a go on that side. And then TY is running an 18-yard stop out here. We got a little check and a check down right there. So anytime we get quarters coverage on this particular play. So here he's dropping back, quarters, quarters, quarters. Anytime we get quarters coverage, these guys' responsibility is to stay inside of number 2 and to squeeze this inside, okay? And then you've got a deep quarters out here with these outside backers having to cover all the way out from this hook to the flat area. So we always say in quarters coverage, forget the inside guys. Why? Because I got to throw around that backer, and then I've got to beat this safety who's staying inside, and it's too tough of a throw. Plus, these guys are supposed to stay inside leverage to make it harder. We say go outside right now to your one-on-ones. If this guy is to buzz outside of TY here, boom, drop it down to your check down right there. Instead, Carson, as a lot of quarterbacks do, we're going to dip it around here to the end zone copy, and I just want you to watch his eyes, right? His eyes, where are his eyes? Right down the middle of the field. He's going inside, 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 and nothing happens inside, which I don't expect it to happen inside, and he's got nowhere to go. Instead of just turning and going straight outside, get to your one-on-one to the outside. We'll run it back one more time. Okay, so here it is. We're going, okay? Pick your best side. This backer stays tucked in here. I'm going to take TY to my check down right here. Ball should be out of my hands, letting it go. You see TY winning on his comeback right there. But I should be outside so you can read these defenders and make the decision on if they get outside or not and drop it to your check down. You get inside, and as expected, this guy's driving. This is all cloudy in here. He's got nothing. He's got to hold the football, and we take another sack right here. That, to me, should be football 101 for any NFL quarterback, is to understand there's a popular concept across the board in every offense to understand. Get cover 2, no problem reading down the middle of the field. Get cover 3, got no problem reading the 2 seams, then to the outside. You get cover 4 with those tight safeties in there. Quit trying to jam it inside and get to your outside one-on-one matchup and just take it. All right, so here's we got a play called we call pinch. Okay, so it's an influence post down the middle of the field. It's a hook right here, and then it's an in right there. Okay, so this is the concept that we've got to this side. All right, the Jags are playing some sort of cover 2. You could call it quarters here. Either way, but you'll notice that the Mike linebacker runs down the middle of the field, so it makes it look like it's a Tampa 2 call. So come back, and the first thing I'm looking at is this Mike linebacker right here. Okay, if I got the middle open, okay, meaning these 2 safeties are split. If I got the middle open and I want to peek at this guy down the middle of the field, no problem. First thing I got to see is this Mike linebacker. This Mike linebacker turns and runs. Even if I like my speed guy against the Mike linebacker, if he's turning and running, third down situation, sticks are right here. I get myself a high-low read off of that one defender right there. Either one of these guys. If he wants to drop back and I throw it here, he's going to get the first down. If he settles, I'm going to get the first down right here. And right here, you'll see it. Big window right there, either one. Either one. As he steps up, throw it here to the outside number. I believe he gets the first down. Here's your throw to the middle of the field with the Mike linebacker. You see, look at the relationship right here. Plus you've got safeties that are going to squeeze on the throw, trying to jam it in and take this shot. And you might say, oh, we had a chance, but it's off the finger. I mean, yeah, he has a chance, but look how perfect you have to be there when you've got all this space right here. Now, you peek at that thing and you say, man, if I get the perfect look, take the shot down the middle. But what I really want is that Mike backer to run, and I want to read this high-low right here. Another missed opportunity on third down, trying to make the big throw instead of making the right throw. Okay, so here's another one, quarterbacks, and there's lots of different factors that go into this, okay? The first thing that I look at here, okay, we got one high safety, all right, one high safety. Okay, perfect. So now that means We'll figure out if it's man or zone. But if it's zone, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders underneath if it's zone. Okay, so with that being said, we want to try to find our numbers game. So right here, I've got 2 underneath defenders, two wide receivers to that side. On the other side, I've got 3 wide receivers or 3 routes to that side. So we always like to go to our numbers if that's the case. All right, so now the next thing we can say to ourselves, okay, maybe it's man coverage. All right, I can buy that. Maybe it's man coverage. If it's man coverage, then we're going to have man, man, and then this guy's going to have man on the back. So what I'm going to do as a quarterback, the first thing I'm going to look at when this guy is in this position right here is, does he pressure? If he pressures, first of all, I could have a hot situation over there, but if he pressures, now we're in a situation where this linebacker is backside, okay? So he's on the backside of the ball. I've only got 1 underneath guy, so I've got an advantage over there. If I peek over there and he drops, okay, and I want to work to this side, which has a couple different hooks over here, no problem. But eyes over there first. Eyes over there first. Okay, he brings pressure. He brings pressure. Now this guy, there's no chance he's going to get over there. I'm going to have a hook. I'm going to have a swing to that side, so I've got a numbers advantage. Okay, does look like it could be man-to-man coverage back here, so I'm not mad at him for going back here to his 2-on-2, no problem. But I'm always going to tell you guys as quarterbacks, when you're going back to a 2-on-2 look like this, and it could be a double slant look, whatever it is, you're going to read the inside defender. And what I mean by reading him is I want to see his shoulders. Okay, so here's what happens. You see it. It's an inside breaking route. He's running a curl right here. And so it looks like I basically have the advantage because my guy is between the ball and the defender. But what I want you to see is that this guy is squeezing this play right here. And so because his shoulders turn to the inside, he's got the chance to drive and knock this football down. When his shoulders turn to the inside, I know without a doubt I've got 1-on-1 to the outside. So I always like to read these plays outside in off of that defender. This defender buzzes out there. Okay, since I'm trying to hit this one first, he buzzes out there. Then I recover right back to the inside guy. So I'm reading that defender right there, but I'm thinking outside in. That defender turns, he squats on it. That's where I want to go with the football instead of right here. And again, this is just me talking. I'm trying to do the big picture, but too often we see simply getting leverage and we think that guy's open, but once this guy turns his shoulders and can drive on it, where the easier throw is to the outside, where you get more of a distinct advantage. Would have liked to seen him go outside right here. Boom. Ball's knocked down. Or I would like to see him see the numbers. This guy's backside, see if I have pressure here, and then we can work off of that. He falls off, no problem. Get back here on time, and you can work both sides. But like to see the numbers game. First and foremost, like to see where they bring pressure and get it to your best guy from there. All right, so this is a play that we call under. So again, we've got that influence post down here. And instead of having the hook and then the in from the outside as we saw before, we're going to do this a little bit differently, but we still got the same idea here. Now we've got the in coming from this guy, and we've got the under coming, so we still have our high-low off of that. Okay, we'll see. Mike linebacker, just like the other one, a little bit different. He's high on this one, but he's out of there. So really like this right here in terms of his read. Okay, he gets back there. This guy, he's got that opening in the middle of the field, and he gets to the second level. Could have thrown it underneath either one. Okay, so the read is good, but we end up missing the throw. And I want to go back, and again, I want to look at his eyes. Eyes tell me the whole story. Okay, so anything we do here as a quarterback, okay, I'm going to split the field right down the middle. We're going to have this influence post that's coming here. Okay, so I have no problem if you want to peek back to this safety on the backside just to make sure he widens. So as you work back here, and if you feel like you've got this shot, you know where this safety is. No problem doing that. But all it should take is a peek to realize that He's out wide, and then I've got to get back to my read. This read to outside backer read right here. But I want you to watch how long Carson's eyes. Backside, 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 back. Now he's front side, and as he gets front side, he's got to turn and rip this ball all at the same time. And I did that in slow motion. Backside, backside. Watch how quickly he's got to turn and rip this ball right here. To me, he should have one step backside. Okay, safety widens. I got what I want. Now it's back to Mike linebacker and then Sam linebacker, and I have a chance to really set my feet and make this throw. Instead, he's got to turn, rip, ball ends up behind his guy, almost intercepted right here, all because his eyes were weak side too long. Eyes are key, quarterbacks, okay? So I'm going to peek this guy right here and make sure he doesn't come this direction. But once he stays over there, and again, remember I told you to split the field down the middle. Why? Because I'm never going to make this throw and throw it across the middle of the field. If this guy's too tight, and I think he's too tight here, then I'm just going to X that off anyways and not even think about that. And I'm going to get back to this guy right here and make this high-low read off of that backer. But again, you'll see it. Eyes there too long, has to turn, try to rip it the last second, forces a missed throw. Get your eyes in the right spot. You don't have to hold guys as long as sometimes you think you do, as long as you're making the right read and you're throwing the ball in the right areas of the field, right? Nobody on the backside was going to take away that throw that he was making. He just needed to get there sooner and make his decision sooner so he didn't have to turn and rip it and try to beat somebody with the throw because he let him get inside too far. All right? Again, not everything is on the quarterback, okay? I want to show this just because I think this is too easy here, okay? Offensive line has this Mike linebacker right here. As this guy steps down, we've got to come off of this because this is a huge play in the game, right? We got to see that guy. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't do anything. He comes right now. We miss that. Carson's dead in the water, trying to get away from this. Turns into a sack, fumble, easy opportunity for the Jags in this situation. And so, again, we're going to blame that on Carson, but that's not, to me, on Carson because that's bad protection, and they exposed him in a bad situation. Yes, hold on to the football and all that stuff, but it happens to all of us when we get into a situation where we don't expect pressure and somebody knocks the ball out. All right, here we're going to run the post, the over, and the swing. Now, it's a good read by Carson. He gets carry right here. He gets this guy to jump the flat. Now it's all about the type of throw that you have to make, okay? You got to be able to transfer your weight. You got to tip your shoulders. You got to get this ball up and down, and instead, just not a very good throw. If you're going to make this throw, the defender's going to undercut this. You're going to see it. Does all the right things. Gets here, eyes over here, reading that flat defender, which is great. But now, good coverage right here. Good coverage right there by the linebacker. So now, you can't try to drive this throw in here. If you're going to make this throw, you got to tip the shoulders. This throw's got to go up and over. You lay it out by the sideline and you say, well, only guy that can get it is my guy if I throw it up and over. Instead, a flat throw, not a good throw right there. Interception, going the other direction. All right? So again, we talked about numbers games. Always about a numbers game. We're going to run this and this here. Actually, we're going to run a seam here. We're going to run that same under concept over there. Check, back to this side. Okay, so you remember me talking about numbers before. 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath defenders. Okay, when we're running this under concept, okay, we've got 2 receivers against 2 defenders. We don't like our numbers. We should be X'd off that side once we see a middle closed look, unless we're sure that they're bringing pressure to that side. Okay, so now, remember we said we've got 1, 2 underneath defenders, 2, 1, 2, 3 receivers. So it's about a numbers game. So they don't bring pressure right here. Okay, come off here, middle close. Maybe you're going to peek at this seam, and then you're going to recover out here to the stop, and then here to the check down. Instead, he goes to this side where there's 2 defenders. It's not clear because the numbers aren't in his favor. I should be on the other side. Again, I don't understand. You're at this point in your career, you can't make these mistakes. You got to understand, and again, I'm going to sit here and always put the caveat, I don't know what he's taught. I don't know what the coaches tell him in any given situation. But what I know is that the game of football is a numbers game, okay? When I have 2 and they have 2, that's not an advantage for me. When they've got 2 and I've got 3, that's an advantage for me. And so I understand what I got. So I'm over here and I'm going to look at TY. If I think this guy's too wide, taking it away, boom. There's my throw right there, check down. Now, even though he went to the top, right, they get distorted. This guy carries, this guy gets too wide, and he actually has the under right here. Even though he shouldn't, he does. Throw it right there. There it is. If you're reading this side, that should be your read guy, okay? We'll end up having the high-low off of that guy. This guy carries. That should be your throw if you're to that side anyways. So even though you go to the wrong side, they get distorted a little bit. There's your throw. Take your throw. Instead, we're going to get another sack here in this situation when initially I would love to see him go to this side, stop to check down, and you see all the space as these guys are running out of here. Another missed opportunity, another sack by the quarterback. All right. Okay, and again, I'm using these guys always as coaching and teaching for coaches that are out there and quarterbacks that are out there. So we're going to have the same combination on both sides. It's what we call corner. So it's a corner and it's a flat route. All right, it's designed for cover 2. Safety's high, corners rolled down, corners rolled down. So basically we've got even look on both sides. Okay, so I ask you, okay, if we got even looks on both sides on this particular concept, which side do I want to go to? Do I want to go to the wide side? Do I want to go to the short side? All right, quarterbacks, coaches always want to go to the short side. If everything is even, you want to go to the short side. Why? Okay, because to the short side, you put this guy in more of a bind here because he's in a tighter position to where your routes are being run. Okay, in other words, see how tight he is to where this flat is going? Because the key on this particular play is the flat receiver getting outside the flat defender. Once he gets outside the flat defender, this flat defender has to make a decision. Okay, he's got to decide if he wants to turn his shoulder and cover the flat or if he wants to drop deep and cover the corner. So the quicker we can get that read, the better off it's going to be for the quarterback. Also, it's a shorter throw, so the quicker you can get the ball up and down, the more you can manipulate and beat this guy with the throw. So that's the second part, right? If this guy, you see how much further away he is from this flat than this corner is from this flat. So it takes all of this time for him to get all the way to him and outside of him before this guy has to make a decision and before I can make a decision as a quarterback. So we want to get the quickest read possible, the quickest crossover possible to be able to make this read. The other factor is that what we see here, right, is these safeties are in primarily the same spot on both sides, okay? But you'll notice how much wider this corner is than this corner, okay? This corner is about 2 yards from the number. This corner is about 5 yards from the number. So with these guys being in a similar spot, the wider corner also gives you the better leverage on the safety to be able to make the read and the throw. So I would love to see Carson reading this guy right now. That guy wants to do that. Take this throw all day long and we'll get down the field. Even if he doesn't quite turn, you still might have a shot here because you've got leverage on the safety easy. We're on the inside edge of the numbers. This guy's halfway between the hash and the numbers. So if you get the right angle, right there, okay? So you have to decide, can I make this throw over the top of that corner? Okay, if you can, there's your touchdown throw right there where you see how hard this is and how far this is over to the other side. But either way, easy read right there to your flat. But either way, ball should be out of his hands No problem right here because the read's already been given. Now he finally gets it out there to the flat late, and after avoiding, now the corner's able to turn and break as he waits for the football, and they don't get nearly what they could have. But I'm gonna show you again from the end zone, because to me, the head is always what tells you if a quarterback knows what he's looking at or not. So you saw the look. So I don't care which side it is, really. I mean, again, I like this side better, but it's even on both sides. So one way or another, Carson's eyes should be stuck to one side, reading corner or reading corner. Either way, but I want you to watch his eyes, okay? Slow it down here for you guys. Okay, watch his eyes. Left, right, left, middle, back to left. You can't play the position that way. Okay? You can't have your eyes all over the place. Your eyes all over the place, that tells me you don't know what you're looking at. His eyes should be locked in on the corner to one side or the other, reading the high-low, getting set, and ripping the ball out of his hands instead of having his eyes all over the place. Got to be definitive. Got to know what you're looking at. Quarterbacks always know what you're looking at, what your keys are. Get your eyes on your keys, and we've seen that a number of times from Carson. Eyes are all over. He's got his eyes too much to one side, then to the other side. Or he's going back and forth instead of getting his eyes on the read guy defensively. Make the game as easy as possible, as quickly as possible. Find your guy. Find your read guy, okay? So here's another one, all right? So we're going to drop back, and we're going to have an in route here. Boom, hook, hitch, seam. All right. So, okay, Carson sees middle open right there, okay? No problem, okay? But what I want to do on this particular play is I want to, well, first of all, just figure out if I want to throw this backside in, okay? If I want to throw this backside in, first thing I need to do as a quarterback is to make sure that this guy isn't holding in the in window. So make sure this guy isn't in a quarters look. If I get back to him and he goes into a deep half look, great, I'm in great shape. Now I can high-low my backer as I was talking about before, and I'm golden. If I come back and look at him and he hesitates right like that, he hesitates in that window and he stays inside my receiver, which he's going to on this, I'm in trouble. So where my eyes want to be initially is this guy right here. I want to see what he does. Does he push strong? Does he get depth outside, or does he hang in this spot? If he hangs, now I'm going to work back to my high-low off of this guy. He goes there. Now I can take the high-low there and recover outside if I want to. But I got to see what that guy does. See the safety, doesn't do anything, hardly moves. Now he's got the ability to break on it. Carson's got to throw this ball, try to hit the back shoulder instead of reading this high-low, taking the shot there, recovering out to that side. Okay, that's the other thing. If I think it's quarters, and so this safety's kind of holding in here, I can just get my eyes right back here and just take the easy hitch to the outside, then recover to the inside if I know this corner is off right here, especially because this linebacker is tucked way inside to that side. It's going to give me the easy hitch on the outside. But instead, Carson's trying to manipulate the safety instead of just letting the safety tell him where to go. So you see, eyes right now are over here. So he has no idea what this safety right here is doing. And because he's got no idea what he's doing, so he's just trying to say, I'm going to look this way and I'm going to force that guy to go there. Well, okay, I like, what he's thinking in his head is I want to move that guy, but you still got to make sure this guy moves. If you don't make sure this guy moves, now you're coming back and you're throwing blind, and you can't throw it where you want to, because if you throw it where you want to, it's going the other direction. So now you're forced into a bad play because you never verified what that guy did. Okay? You've got the opportunity to work that guy. Look at him. He stays there. Great. Now I'm going to work back to this side. Look at him. He doesn't stay there and he moves. Now I know I can just read my high-low right here off the linebacker and have what I want right there. Instead, we're trying to do too much. We're trying to look people off that we don't need to look off because the situation isn't set up to look them off. And now we're putting ourselves in a bind once again. Know what you're looking at. Know who you're trying to determine on what they're doing and what's going to create somebody being open on a particular play. All right, so here we go. We got this old drive concept. I'm not a fan of the drive concept, but we know in a lot of offenses, they love this little triangle right here. So they're going to run a corner route here. So that's Carson's kind of first read. Peek that and see if you have it. If you don't, you're going to read the triangle. Okay, so when I say read the triangle, you're really going to come back and you're going to read this guy. Okay, if this guy gets distorted, moves out of there, this guy has a chance to read it and you're going to hit the shallow. You don't have it, you're going to work to number 2, then you're going to work to number 3. Why I don't like this, similar to what I don't like about mesh, is that we got one guy going to this zone, one guy going to this zone, and one guy going to this zone, which really in every coverage should have a defender that's covering every one of those zones. Doesn't mean somebody won't get distorted, and that's why people run these, because somebody's always getting distorted, or this guy gets to read it. If that guy's, I'm going to sit here and then we're going to win because I read it right. But I don't like any plays where we're running a bunch of guys to different zones against zone coverage. So you'll see it right here, right? We're running this shallow, backer, Josh Allen sitting right there. Okay, Carson, just work to your number 2. Work to your number 2. This Mike backer has flown out of there. Here's your number 2. Okay, if off the number 2, this guy squeezes it, work to your number 3. Just get through your progressions. There, you see it right here. We got cover 2 look. That's dead because I got nothing to hold the corner like on the last play. Okay, get to this guy. Oh, he's sitting there. I'm not going to have that. Get in here to work your next guy. Get through your progressions. Instead, he looks at the 1, he takes off, he's panicking, and now we're going to take another sack in a situation where you've got opportunities right here if you get through your progressions more quickly and understand what you're seeing from the get-go. Again, quarterbacks understand. Cover 2, okay, we had the last play where we had this corner route. We liked the corner route on the last play. Why? Because we had a quick flat control which forced this guy to be in a bind where he could only cover one of the 2. On this particular play, we don't have that. We have nothing coming to the flat. So this corner doesn't have to respect anything. So I'm basically off of that right now because this corner does what I expect him to do and he falls off because nothing's threatening him. Get your eyes here. Get through your reads more quickly. Know what your progressions are. And now we're making positive plays instead of negative plays. Okay, so here we are. Once again, we've got that 3-man under influence in under. Okay, and then on the backside, we're running what we call a 7 stop with a check flat. Now, first thing that I don't like is I hate when we chip when we need a guy in a route. Okay, so again, we'll talk through a bunch of different things, but okay, so what do I mean by that? Okay, so when I'm reading a 7 stop, okay, so he's pushing up, going to the corner, and then he's running a stop. When I'm reading that, I'm reading it when I have corner off. And so I have an inside out on that linebacker right there. But the only way I have an inside out is if this guy gets outside of him. To pull him outside, so I have a read on this particular play. So, coaches, I understand there's times that you want to check. It is so vital that, times that you want to chip. It's so vital when you chip to make sure this guy isn't vital in the route concept or what you're telling your quarterback to read. So if I'm telling my quarterback on this particular play, hey, if you get corner off on the backside, you can read this 7 stop. If I'm telling him that, then I can't have this guy chipping because this guy chips, and because he's chipping, this guy holds underneath the 7 stop and ultimately ends up covering both of these guys. If I'm going to tell him he can read that side first and foremost, if he gets corner off, I need to get this guy to the flat right now. Whatever I'm doing, I need to get that guy to the flat, get this guy to move, and so I have that opportunity right there. Carson looks like he's coming back to this side, but you see it. This guy hesitates. Why? Because the check down is way inside of him. Never threatened him to his responsibility, which is the flat, so he holds that off. And he holds off the other one, and now I put my quarterback in a bind right here, and now he tries to get to it late, and it's all messed up because I'm not really sure T.Y. is falling in here instead of coming back at the quarterback, so we throw it here. He's falling inside. He's falling inside. We got all kinds of issues, but it starts with the chip. And then on top of the chip, I'm not really sure what this check down is because it's going straight up the field right into this linebacker. As a quarterback, if I throw that, I'm getting my guy blown up. I let him cover both of these guys. Don't really know what's going on. If I know as a quarterback that we're chipping on the backside, then I got to read this to the front side. Okay? I'm going to try to get this guy to clear out of there. Then I'm going to get a high-low off of this defender right here and that quick under to the top side. You see it right there. There it is. There's a throw right here. Take it and roll. But looks like Carson is wanting to look over to this side. And I get it because he's got the right look that he would want. But it just doesn't work out because we're chipping the back here. Okay, so again, see his eyes. Eyes are going left. Eyes are going left. Okay, get it. Don't know why his eyes come back to the right. I don't know what he's trying to think about here and what he's trying to get. But keep your eyes to the left if you're going to read to the left. Okay, but now he's going left. Then he looks down the middle, and then he gets caught. And now we're in trouble. And just another bad play. And some was play design to me or the chip. And again, maybe they weren't coached that. Maybe they did that just this week, but you have to change your read as a quarterback when you know that your underneath or checkdowns aren't playing to the favor of your routes. Okay, here we go, last play. All right, again, play design, play design, play design. So we're going to run a corner, we're going to run an influence, and then this looks to be an in route here instead of a post, but I'm not really sure. Okay, check downs. We're going here to the flat, and we're going here to the hook, okay? So as we play this out, okay, check downs are so important, okay? Why are check downs important? So if I know I've got a corner route over here, I don't want to hook my check down because that allows this guy to cover my check down, this guy to cover my corner. If I'm running a corner, I want this guy to go to the flat like we talked about earlier, so I put all the pressure on one defender. Okay, on the other side, same idea. If we're running an in right here, I don't want this guy running to the flat because then this guy can cover the flat, this guy can cover the in. I want my check down on this side to be a check hook, so now I get a high-low on this defender. And so play design and check downs are so vital on every single play because they help to determine what the quarterback can see, who he's going to read, and that he can simplify the game by just looking at one defender. All right, so there you go. You see all the little things. Quarterbacks, coaches, I can't harp on it enough. Continually work on getting your eyes in the right spot. Understand the big picture of the concept. Understand who you're putting pressure on defensively. Get your eyes there right now. We talk all the time about looking off, looking off, looking off. You don't need to look off that much, okay? Looking off is not as big of a deal as people say it is. Yes, there's certain routes that we want to look people off. We're throwing a go route, we got to hold the free safety. When we're working double seams, we got to work the free safety to one side and throw it to the other side. I get that. But on most good concepts, you don't have to hold a backside safety to throw it front side. There's no reason to get your eyes over there. Get your eyes on the right guy, get a definitive answer to your question on who I'm reading and where I need to throw the football, and get the ball out of your hands. Too many guys spend too much time looking at things they don't need to look at, and it gives them all kinds of problems because they hold the football too long and you take sacks. Carson Wentz has got to get better at this. It was what he struggled with last year in Philly, not knowing where to get his eyes right off the bat. And you see, having some of those same issues with Indy this year. Although he did a better job, I thought Frank Reich did a better job of calling concepts to get his eyes in the right spot earlier. Comes back to haunt you every single time if you've got to hold the football. If you're not sure where the ball has to go, if you're not sure where your eyes need to be, and you're looking all over the place, that means you don't know what you're looking at and you're just trying to find someone open. You play in that world, especially the higher levels you get to, the more you're going to struggle.